All right, so what we're doing is just hanging out. I'm gonna answer any of your questions. And I know that we're not used to, like, you're not used to seeing me live here on YouTube. So I'm just gonna walk back and forth, get some steps on my little balcony right here in Mexico. And when you show up, you can ask me a question. I do this frequently on Instagram, by the way. And since a lot more people follow me on Instagram, like 20,500, milestone achieved, I just hit that actually. There's plenty of people there. But basically, I can help you with whatever kind of question you have. We are live, and I'm just here to answer or to answer your questions. This video I will delete and it will disappear. Luca Edge, hello. Ask away. I can see your comments right there. So yeah, when we're off, this video will disappear. So what kind of questions can I answer for you? If you can't actually leave a question right now, it's probably because you are not logged in. So you're gonna have to log into your YouTube account and leave a question. I love answering questions. I'm just gonna talk my head off until you ask me a question, but like really, I started this, I'm just gonna tell a little story until you ask a question, but I started this YouTube channel back in December of 2016. And if you've followed or subscribed since then, or just been watching since then, I just wanna say thank you. Why is it called Elementary Chinese? A bit about myself if you don't know me. Actually, I had a day job in Brazilian Study English with the channel. Whoa, okay, cool. So I had a day job. Do I think that learning only phrases and conversation is enough to start learning Mandarin? Castanada? Oh, your question disappeared. Yeah. Here's why I think that's enough. If that's what you're interested in, then it's a good way to start. Simple. I think we overcomplicate things a lot. And really, to start learning Mandarin, what I want you to do is just start. Pick the thing that you are, instead of going through apple and orange, pick the thing that you're interested the most in. Whatever motivates you the most, do that. Because it's your motivation. Mandarin's super hard, super, super hard. And it's your motivation that's going to keep you studying. So really, if you just want to learn some phrases, go for it. If you want to watch a TV show in Mandarin, like, go for it. If you say know some Chinese speaking people, then learn some phrases that you can talk to them. Whatever is easy for you to start and whatever you really like, just start there. Because in this journey, you probably won't end up studying Mandarin or learning Mandarin the way you started. Like my story. I'll get back to how I started this channel in a bit. Actually, let's talk about this channel's name. Ask another question, interrupt me, and I want to ask your questions, or I want to answer your questions. I'm here to answer your questions. That's all I'm doing. I'm deleting this, this live after we're done. So, when you start learning Mandarin, it's not gonna look like, 2 years from now. For example, why is this channel even called Elementary Chinese? I got lucky that elementary means beginner, but actually when I started, I was working in Tianjin. I still live in Tianjin, by the way. I'm just here in Mexico because the you-know-what is running around the world and ruining all of our lives. And I am inside, by the way. So I started the channel while I was working my day job teaching English in Tianjin, China. And then I really wanted to work from home. So I thought, since I already been in China at that point for 8 years, since 2009, I thought, well, why don't I just teach Chinese? Since people are always asking me Chinese questions and I knew it, like at that time, I still know it. So I thought, I will make a business to teach Chinese to non-native elementary school teachers. In the US of A, where I'm from. I'm from Seattle, by the way. And so that's why I called it Elementary Chinese, because originally I was just going to put videos on here that were like tutorials about how to teach Chinese in the classroom for people like me who aren't Chinese, who teach in the States. And that's why I called it Elementary Chinese. Wow, look how different. And Camila, I'm about to get to your question, but look how different this channel is from, well, actually, I couldn't find non-native Chinese teachers. So I took down those tutorials a long time ago, and then I just started helping out other expats who live in China learn Chinese. And if you watch the videos, If you watch the videos from back in December 2016 to now, the whole style has changed. And actually, if you go to Instagram and you follow me there, you'll notice that I was doing like day-to-day life Chinese videos. Like, things evolve over time, which is why I wanted to say back to Strategos, Castaneda, thanks for asking, how do you start? Don't worry so much about how you start. That's the whole point of this little story. Just start, because how you finish or what your studies will look like will look a lot different a year from now. So I just want you to get started and stay positive and build up some momentum. Luca, oh, Camila, your question, Camila. Very excited to learn Mandarin. Hey, I'm happy that you're excited to learn Mandarin. So much that you have 3 apps and you watch videos on YouTube. Okay, cool. And you read Manhouse? I don't know what Manhouse is. Can you leave a comment and tell me what Manhouse is? And you use Hello Talk. Cool. And you have classes. Dang. You don't know if doing so much is bad. Okay, this is the kind of question that I love to answer. And this is the kind of thing that I love. Well, it's what I do. You've probably seen in the community tab the DIY Chinese challenge. This is a quick plug for that. If you're studying on your own and you feel like you're not making a lot of progress, that's what I do the best, is I coach you how to make that progress. But it's not just because you're getting advice from me like every week in like a live video chat where I'm answering specific questions for a situation. It's also because I hook you up with an accountability partner inside of the group. And so then you guys are literally taking my system for studying on your own and practicing it, implementing it step by step, and keeping each other accountable. And so that DIY Chinese challenge is open right now. You can go down to the link and sign up for that if that will help you. So back to your question. Oh, I like these questions. Luca, I see your question. I'm coming to you next. So let's see. You don't know if doing so much is bad, Camila. Doing so much is only bad if you feel like you're getting overwhelmed. It really is about how much can you handle. If you're super excited, Camila, then great. If you have more days than not where you start to feel like, oh, this is such a pain, I don't feel like it, that's your brain starting to tell you, it's your heart starting to tell you that you're doing a little too much. So then start getting rid of things. Oops, I lost the comment there. Where did it go? Oh, there we go. So yeah, if you feel like it's a little too heavy, that maybe you've taken on too much to study, then just stop it. And that's all you gotta do, Camila. But you have classes, cool. I would recommend, honestly, as long as you have somebody to talk to, maybe I would do 2 less apps. Just pick one app and finish. There's something to be said about starting something and finishing. Why? Because it's like a mental thing. If you start one thing and then you finish it, your brain gets happier because you're like, I finished that, and you can keep going. So if you have a class, you studied a class before. You finish a class, you're like, yeah, I got a great grade. Or maybe you're like, dang it, I got a horrible grade. But when you finish, you finish. So maybe cut off some of the apps and just use one app and try to complete some of the stages in that app and finish it. Hopefully this helps you, Camila. My lips are really chapped. Let's see, another question. Luca's question. Oh, and one more thing, Camila. Talk to somebody. I just got finished telling all the Instagram elementary Chinese family, you need to talk to somebody. If you're not really communicating in Chinese with a real life person, then, for example, on Hello Talk, then you don't know that you can actually use the language. And no matter how much you practice and study, and no matter how good of grades you get in class, if you don't know if you can actually communicate it, well, you might show up in China and all of a sudden you don't know what people are saying and you can't talk. Please like this live stream if it's helping you, because then YouTube algorithm magic will show it to more elementary Chinese family on YouTube. Luca, if you're still here, what's the bigger difference that you have for learn more languages? What's the bigger difficult that you have for to learn more language? One more time, Luca, write that again so I can understand. I really want to understand. Are you saying what's the bigger difficulty in learning multiple languages? Or is it harder or easier to learn multiple languages at once? I can definitely say, now that I'm in Mexico learning Spanish, it's definitely harder. Just like if you're juggling, and the more balls you have in the air, the harder it is to keep them all. I would definitely, even though there's lots of YouTube channels about all these polyglots that know like 5 languages or 6 languages, for someone who doesn't speak other languages natively, at least for me, it's super hard to learn a foreign language. So I've always done better focusing on one language at a time. And even when you have to maintenance a language, they just mess with each other in your head. And it could be that all those polyglots are way better than me. It probably is, you know, but I'm speaking for myself. Like, I do one language better at a time, Luca. But if that wasn't the question you meant, ask again. And you know what, Luca, are you like Italian? Like, I just want to show respect. Here you are watching my channel in English and asking me questions in English. If it's not your native language, like, respect. Like, I just respect you, honestly, straight up. Castaneda strategos, I hope I'm saying that right. You're trying to, I'm reading your question right now. You're trying the app Do Chinese. Oh, that one's for reading, so you're actually pretty decent at Chinese, yeah? My theory is to learn to speak instead of learning 1, 2, 3. It worked with English. You're a native Spanish speaker from Guatemala. Que bueno. Ya te dije que estoy aprendiendo español. Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. If your theory is that you're trying to learn a certain way, prove your theory and just go learn it. And if it doesn't quite work, oh well, forget about it and keep trying a different way. If you're just joining this live stream, it's just that, a live stream, and I'm here to answer your questions. So start asking questions. If you can't ask questions, log into the YouTube app, come back and ask a question. I'll answer it. Like, I'm here to serve. And I don't hang out with you enough live, so I want to start doing that more, especially as we're all stuck inside. From China, comics from China, Camila. I don't even know comics from inside China. I do love Dragon Ball Z, which is why it shows up inside of my videos sometimes, and I have seen those comics in Chinese and French, which takes me back to one of my points earlier, that if you like, ooh, there's lots of questions. Okay, I'm gonna get to you, Sheila, Shady Sabas. I'm coming to your question soon. But if you do what you like, you'll do more of it. Easy. Ashley Hayes, how are you staying engaged with Chinese when I'm stuck? Besides creating videos for elementary Chinese, I like that question. Ashley, how am I staying engaged? Honestly, I'm not really. I'm at a level in Chinese where I just, like, my Chinese doesn't really go away if I don't speak it for a while. I do speak Chinese to my daughter, pretty much 100% of the time. So that's one way. Other than that, yeah, at the moment, I was teaching this Mexican professor. We were doing a language exchange. She was teaching me Spanish and I was teaching her Chinese. But other than that, I don't really, well, okay, first of all, I came here to Mexico to study Spanish. And I only planned on being here 3 weeks, not like 3 months because of the you-know-what. So all my Chinese stuff is stuck back at home. Miss Shady Sebas. Hi, mate. Can you tell me what's your tips for getting the tones of each word correctly when you're speaking? I can say the tone pairs correctly when it's a single word, but in a sentence, it is super hard. So find some material. Shady Siva, I just can't say that name without laughing, but the trick to getting tones better in phrases is to start to repeat after phrases. When I first started studying Chinese, it was with a book, and I had a CD. That was an audio CD. And so I went along with my class, right? If you're taking a class, get the audio for a book. That's why I love books that have audio with them. But I started reading, not just the character word list, but I also started reading reading along with the recordings for like the phrases, the sentences, and the paragraphs. And here's what happens. I'm going to share with you a method. It's called the echo method. Not my own method. It's invented by some professor, person with brains way smarter than me. But what you do is you listen to audio, okay? And then you take that, you play the sentence, pause, try to repeat the sentence in your head. Close your eyes, it helps you visualize. But repeat the sentence in your head, and then you try to say the sentence out loud. And then you play the audio again, and you try to say the sentence along with it. Now the trick is that you need to find content, material, Shady Cebus, that is at your skill level. The closer the material is to your current skill level, the easier it will be to do this. And if you go from just practicing single characters to practicing tones in pairs, to practicing, say, phrases, that is how you will very slowly but surely level up your ability to speak phrases with accurate tones, because I know you know already, that's why you asked me, but tones sound different when you're saying them in sentences than they do individually. And if you like this, thank you for liking the video, and let me take this opportunity to tell you the DIY Chinese challenge, the one where I get you in a group with accountability and I walk you step by step through what I would do if I had to learn Chinese from zero. The one where my first round of members got so much progress. Like, I was just it was very nice to watch them and see how much progress they're making. At any rate, that challenge is open right now. You can sign up. The link is down in the descriptions, and I would be happy to help you with a group that's super highly motivated. I just got done writing an email actually to the group. And in the email I said, we have to commit to helping each other, to being positive. There's a lot we could whine about, but if we all commit to being really positive and helping each other out whenever we can, right? Because look, right now you're okay at Chinese wherever you're at in your level. You can help somebody who's just right behind you, If you know how to write 3 characters and somebody just started Chinese, you can help them write those 3 characters. And so anyway, I was telling the group that we're all in it together, and if we really help each other, then the group accelerates faster together. That's how it works. So if that's something that would help you because you're studying on your own and you need assistance to make your progress as you hoped, then go down to the descriptions and sign up. I'd be happy to have you there. Questions? Ashley, he said, lucky daughter, thanks for answering your question. Of course I'm going to answer your question, and you are welcome. Thank you. Another question. I'm just going to keep going until the question stops, by the way. Oh, actually, I just got a reminder that I have to go live inside of one of my paid groups. So, I love Chinese comics, Camila, so much that on Monday you try to translate some parts, but it's really hard. You try to do it word by word to make some sense. Camila, when I read books, I don't look up every single word, because for me, I start to get disappointed. It takes the fun away from the reading. So I try to limit myself maybe to say 5 words or even 4 words per page. And then the rest, I just try to understand. Also, the trick is to make sure you have books at your level. I don't have the link in the description for these, but you can look on my channel. I reviewed some graded readers, also known as leveled readers, in Chinese. They're called Mandarin Companion. Those readers are pretty cool because the stories are interesting, and you can find and buy the readers at your level. So if you're, say, really good, you can get ones that are harder. If you're just starting out, you can get ones that are easier. And what that means for you is that you'll understand more of them as you read, and you'll be able to get more enjoyment out of it. I hope that makes sense. But this whole Chinese thing is all about keeping your motivation really high, since Chinese is really hard, and high motivation plus consistency, like I just talked about in my other live stream 30 minutes ago, is how you can really go forward. So let me find another question. But looking at other English translation, it's not the same. Chinese and English aren't the same. Neither is Spanish, neither is French. What I'm talking about here is semantics. It's not just the words we communicate, and you already know this, I'm sure, right, Camila? But it's how we communicate them, and every language expresses itself in different ways. So depending on the material you're reading, especially comics, there are many probably subtle cultural influences inside of there, and so translating word for word doesn't work as well, even if you use Google Translate and translate at the paragraph level. Unfortunately, machines even aren't quite that smart yet. Ashley, you use graded readers too. Cool. More text than comics, but still at a simple level enough for you to understand. Right on, right on. Some of the, hey, okay, so you actually own Mandarin Companion. That's cool. I got a couple to review. They're a little bit under my level, but of the, if you could only see my bookshelf at home, it's in China, so you can't see. But if you could see, there's so many books there. Like, and those Mandarin Companion graded readers, they really are, they're quite good. I actually know the guy. You're welcome, Camila. I know the guy who writes them, and he's legit. His name is Jared Turner. Jared, if you're watching, hi. Oh, actually, Jared, you're not watching, I don't think. And I'm not leaving this live stream up anyway, but his name is Jared Turner. Or maybe I should leave the live stream up. Can you guys tell me? Should I leave the live stream up? Would it help you if I keep this advice around? I don't know. I'm always really conscious of like leaving up these kind of rambling live streams, but maybe it helps. Which brings me to another very selfish question. But if you're here right now, can I ask you, like, on other videos or in the community tab when I post, tell me what you need. Because one of the big, hola, it's my neighbor up there, actually. One of the big problems here is, like, here I am, imagine me, like, I'm thinking, I'm racking my brain, what kind of videos could I make for you? And I really don't know. But if you tell me, then I do know, and I do try my best to, like, edit the videos that you need. So yeah, that's my one request. If you can tell me what you need, if you can ask me a question. Anyway, so the creators of Mandarin Companion are two very legit Mandarin dudes. Actually, they're American. One's name is John Pasden. He has, if you Google him, it's JOHNPASDEN. He has tons of solid materials online. Actually, he's a Mandarin. He has a Mandarin consulting. There you go. Thank you, France. Oh, where am I saying your name right, France? I see you in the comments all the time. This is like the first time like we've actually been here live. You know what I really want to do? I noticed that some other people with YouTube channels have figured out how to do a live stream where they can share and, you know, like split the screen and say hi to folks. I want to start to do that. At any rate, hey friends, I do see your comments. I have seen them before. It's really cool that you're watching live now. So John Passon, he's like super legit in the Mandarin world. He has a Mandarin consultancy firm and everything. And so him and Jared teamed up to write the Mandarin Companion graded level reader. So Emma, you got to know, not every book is created equal. Or sorry, Ashley, you're reading Emma right now. But Mandarin Companion, those are good ones. Any other questions? Camille, how's it going? Are you not la Kawi? I don't understand what that means. But what's up, Camille? What's up, Camille? What other questions do we got that I could answer? And then I'll answer them. And then when we're done. I should be walking. I'm trying to get some steps and lose weight because I've been having so many tacos. Joking, kind of. You generally say that you've learned so much from my YouTube and Instagram accounts. You like to keep doing what you love to do and motivate you. Thank you. Thank you, Shady. I hope I'm saying your name right, because it just says, is that like, are you from the Philippines? Sebebas. I'm just guessing. There's so many cool languages and places out there. So, yeah. But thank you. Thank you. I really do enjoy it, too. I'm fortunate to try to do what I like to do. Grammar Wiki. Yes, France, that's it. The Grammar Wiki. It's, if you Google it, if you ever struggle with Mandarin grammar, you never have to buy a book. I mean, I like books. I actually have too many books that I don't read. But the Grammar Wiki that Franz just talked about is actually really good. Really good. And basically, it's better than any book. Like, that's it. Straight up. And you can, I think it's by All Set Learning or on the website All Set Learning. I'm not sure, but Google is your friend. Still can't understand what Noto is saying. Sorry. My favorite Chinese TV shows. Ooh, I can't type them, but I can tell you the names. So a lot of Chinese shows are just cheesy. It's it's just hard. It's a lot easier when I'm learning Spanish to watch Chinese shows in Spanish. And if you're just joining this live stream, I'm just answering your questions. So ask questions and I will do my best to answer them. But Chinese TV shows, there is this one, it's not very new, but it's called 罗婚时代. 罗婚时代. 时代, like generation. In English, it's translated naked wedding. And before you get all crazy with your ideas, in Chinese, and this is a problem with translation, it's semantics, it's culture. Naked wedding is a wedding in which the groom, the husband, does not have a house, does not have a job, or does not have a car. You need these three things in Chinese culture. If you get married without all those things, it can be called a naked wedding. And so it's a really good story about this couple in Beijing, then they're in love, and basically the guy loses his job, he doesn't have a car, and it's just like him and his fiance and then wife and their struggles as they're both looking for work and living life and dealing with like the dynamics of parents that are giving them pressure and this sort of thing. So that is actually a good show. Another one I watched is Ashes of Love is really good, or Evernight. I've never seen that one, Camila, but hey, cool. Do you know the Chinese name? Can you type it in pinyin or characters so someone can find it? Or I guess you could probably Google the English name too. Divorce Lawyers is a funny one. I watched that. It's called 离婚律师. 离婚律师. 离婚 is divorce, and then that's L-I second tone H-U-N, and then 律师, 律, like, you know, the weird 语 sound, like 绿茶, but not the same green, like green tea. 离婚律师, it's kind of a comedy about two divorce lawyers. I won't ruin the plot. It only went one season, unfortunately, or I would have watched the second and third and many more seasons. What else did I watch? 欢乐颂. 欢乐颂. I don't remember the characters. 欢乐颂. 欢乐颂. I think it's 喜欢的欢. And then 乐, like happy, 乐, that also is the double character with 乐, like in 音乐, music, and then song, I don't remember what song that was, but it's about like 4 girls that share an apartment. They moved to they didn't know each other before, but they're in a city together, and it's just kind of all the dynamics of them and their neighbors, and at any rate, that was a cool one too. Any other ones? Cool Chinese shows? 虎妈老爸. 虎妈老爸, hu, like the tiger, because tiger moms, you know, originated in China. 虎妈, and then 老爸, lao, like old, and ba, like baba, dad. And so this is a couple, and they have their successful lives, but they kind of have to sacrifice a lot because they have a daughter and they want to move to a new place so that their daughter can get in the right zoning to go to school. And so many Chinese families do this sort of thing. They sacrifice everything for their kids. And so this is like, I mean, the dad has to work from home. I think he ends up giving up his higher position for a much lower position so that he can be flexible. So does the mom. There's tons of stress. They move from like a super nice house, and maybe they're in Shanghai, to a very small, like 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom maybe apartment, 2-bedroom apartment. Also, the daughter can go to school, and all the stuff that goes down. It's Evernight. You know, I don't even know Evernight. I'll have to look for that. Jiang, yeah, I want to take a screenshot actually. I'm not gonna. I don't know if it will shut down the live stream. So those are the 4 shows that I've watched. Huan Le Song, thank you, Franz. Yeah, that show it's cool. There's some other ones, but they're a bit hard. And of course, historical dramas, like you said, Camila, some of those are cool. I just don't really, I'm not that smart. I'm not that smart. And I don't really like history kind of stuff. So I don't tend to watch Chinese historical dramas. But if you like those, cool. Again, like I said, find something you like and do what you like, and then that will motivate you, and you'll be able to go further and farther studying Chinese. Talking about grammar books, what's a grammar book? Franz was just sharing, Shady, about All Set Learning, the Chinese grammar wiki. I mean, first of all, I hate grammar, like with capital H-A-T-E, or I guess a strong dislike. Nobody really hates anything, but so I don't have grammar books to recommend for you. I am sorry. A textbook that you like would be good if you want to get grammar at your level, because if you just got a book, for example, the reason the Chinese grammar wiki online is so cool is that if you have a grammar struggle or question, you can go right in there and sort to it and figure it out. If you just bought a book that was all grammar, how would that really help you learn Chinese? But again, I guess if that's what you like, then you can get in there and study and do the grammar that you like. 罗混时代. Ah, thank you. Muchas gracias para escribir eso. Eso sí, así es el título. So, if you want grammar books, go for it. Probably just YouTube search best Chinese grammar books and see what reviews are out there. But otherwise, that website, Chinese Grammar Wiki, has all the grammar stuff you would ever need. It's called Ode to Joy, 欢乐 Song. So I watched it on Youku, Youku, .com. So I never saw like an English translation. There's a dog coming out. That's my neighbor again. Vicky, yeah. Some people in my DIY Chinese challenge talked. ¿Cómo estás? Bien. Bien. Muy bien. Estoy aquí. Ando en vivo. Nos vemos. So, some of the people in my DIY Chinese challenge actually were talking about Vicky. It's kind of like Netflix has Chinese shows and it has subtitles that you can turn off or on in multiple languages. So hopefully your native language is on there and then the Chinese language. And you can click on the subtitles to get the meanings of the words. It's actually, Vicky's a pretty cool tool. I haven't used it myself, but the people in my Chinese challenge, they really liked it. And again, plug for the DIY Chinese challenge. It's a place where even though you're studying Chinese alone, you don't have to be alone. And everybody ends up encouraging each other and moving further, farther, faster forward in their Chinese goals. And the cool thing is like, somebody in there was talking about Vicky. Some other people hadn't heard of that. Now everybody in the group knew about that and some people started using it. You end up hearing what other people are doing to study Chinese, and you end up being able to make that kind of, there's the courtyard, make better improvements because you find out about better things. Pretty cool. There's a link in the description. Registration closes Friday, and I would love to have you aboard if you would love to join. I'm here to help. Then we can get to know each other even more. Using flashcards, Anderson, Idelfongo. If you guys got to go, thank you for watching, by the way. But as you have no money, you're using ordinary little pieces of paper. What's wrong with pieces of paper? Like a flashcard is a flashcard. As long as you got some source to write down on the paper, cool. Way to go. Like, we use what we have. We use what we have. If you're watching from your cell phone, Anderson, I'm sorry I'm not saying your last name right, Idelfongo. There's some pretty good apps. Shady Cebus, yes, I do accept WeChat or Alipay. Personally, PayPal would be better for me, or credit card, but so I have WeChat and Alipay both because I live in China normally, but I'm stuck outside of China because of the you-know-what. And so I don't know when China's gonna open their borders, but anyway, yeah, reach out to me on Instagram at Elementary Chinese, Shady Cebus, and then you can add my WeChat from there, and you can transfer, and then I can add you into the DIY Chinese challenge. You want to do so before midnight tonight because there is like early bird prices, and those are going up at midnight tonight. I don't know where you're at in the world because I don't think you said yet, but I'm in Mexico, and so I think there's it's 3 p.m. right now, so 3 to 12. So many hours because of math. I do not do math. Please don't make me do math. Anki, flashcard app. David, that's a good one. I use that. They had these decks called the highest frequency characters, and they were organized from the characters 1 to 500, the ones that showed up the most frequently in Chinese language. And so I used Anki just to memorize those. The cool thing about memorizing characters in their frequency, or in order of how they frequently appear, why can't I talk? Oh my gosh. Is that if you learn, I think the stat is, I don't know, the first 100 characters, you've already learned the characters that show up 60% of the time in Chinese language. And so it's not exciting. Not all ways of studying are, but for me, it really helped me learn Chinese characters. Got to run to a meeting, but thanks for the live stream. Hey, Ashley, take care. Thank you for watching, honestly. Like, thank you for watching. It's cool to hang out. Take care. And I really wish there was a better way for us to make like a community, because I know that like some of you watch a lot, and I'm gonna try. DM me on Instagram, because that's where I can actually talk to you and message back. It's elementary Chinese, but I'm gonna try. Maybe we can do a show or just something where I can do Q&A, but it's actually like we can just share our learning stories. Like we can do split screen and me here and you there, and you know. Any other questions or comments? How can I help you? 9 of you are watching. I would love to. Starting now on my channel. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Anderson. There are a lot of useful videos depending on the situation that you're learning Mandarin for. I got book reviews. For me personally, my favorite thing to do is to meet other people that learned Mandarin and just get them to share tips about how they learned. Because quite frankly, if like past me, when I first started out learning Mandarin, could have talked to future me or friends of future me, past me would have not done certain things and would have chosen to do other things and would have learned a lot more quickly. I actually wrote like a whole 7-part email series about this. Again, I'm sharing it to the people who are inside of the DIY Chinese Challenge, but just reflections on all the stages of my life where I've either learned Mandarin really well or haven't really well, and what I would change if I could go back and talk to past me and slap them in the face and be like, Kuizhou from the past, do this differently, you know? Hindsight is 2020, they say. David, you got your foundational understanding of Mandarin from EDX, Mandarin X, Chinese. Oh, David, can you share a little more about that? I don't actually know what that is, never heard of it. But I like to learn about new resources. I can't get my hands on any resources. Is it a website? Is it books? Is it a podcast? What is that? I would like to know. So why don't I just share a little bit more about myself until I see more of your questions? Or this could be a ask me anything. I mean, you guys don't have to just ask Mandarin questions. I won't always answer, but I will usually answer. So December 2016 is when I started this YouTube channel, Elementary Chinese, and shortly thereafter I started Instagram. If you like more seeing Chinese in day-to-day life situations, then go to Instagram. Not my recent Instagram, but before January, I was putting up videos almost every day or every other day. Me in China, in the cafe, in here, in various places from day-to-day life. Literally like kind of run and gun. I'd go into a cafe, ask them a question, like look at you and the camera and teach as we were going. The recent ones have subtitles. Some of the older ones don't, but I always would talk a bit, stop a bit, teach a bit, talk a bit, you know. So all that's on Instagram just because it's harder to do. And I haven't really, I don't know, Instagram's kind of good for that content. I don't think I saw a lot of feedback that you would like that content here on YouTube, but if you would, leave a comment. I'd like to know, especially on the community posts. The community posts, I can better organize and see what you are thinking. EDX are courses on all sorts of subjects from universities. Oh, is that in iTunes or is this a website? It's a course on edx.org. Okay, edx.org. I have to remember that. Where are you guys from? Like, okay, seriously? Franz, you've been on the channel like forever and a day. Where are you from? Like, where are you watching at in the world right now? Anderson, Brazil, please tell me. David, like, I'm from Seattle, Washington, in the USA. If you're just joining, I live in Tianjin, China. Lived there since 2009. Spent some time in Paris before that. Yeah. Texas, hey, I've never actually been. I hear Austin's pretty cool. I have some friends who moved there. Germany in the house. Hey, thanks for responding. I've only been, to airports. Like, I think I transferred through Fort Worth on the way down to Mexico, where I'm at now, if you want to see. That's like my little courtyard. Oh, this is not my little courtyard. There's like 12 houses in here. okay? Lest you think like, who is this guy? Like, he has this whole courtyard. There's like, it's like an Airbnb. Like, that's where I live with my fam. And like, there's another house there, and there's those two guys up there. One's like a physics professor, and the other one is a chef. And then there's like two musicians that live right here. Normally they sing and play in Mexico City. And this is an empty house. And then down there is like this Mexican lady. She's pretty cool, Marilu, and she's married to a German guy. And then like down here are some people from Spain, and they have two cute little twins. So like, this is like Airbnb where I came mid-January, right before all the news about, broke out. And then we got stuck here. And I'm still here, having fun, staying quarantined, learning Spanish. Oh, can I share with you a really good tip? If you have a tutor, if you don't, I recommend you get a tutor. But if you have a tutor, study with your tutor in this way. So I use WhatsApp to study with my tutor, and I pay her. Please pay a tutor. If you're working, pay a tutor, because your time is, well, you don't want to waste your time on a language exchange partner. If you're not working and you can get a language exchange partner, do that, but just make sure they're serious, because we can never get our days back, and so you want to make sure you're not wasting your time. I just hit the wall there. Anyway, what I do is I have a book. Like Ashley was in the chat, and she was saying she was using graded level readers. I read my book. It's short stories about famous people in history once before I meet with my tutor over WhatsApp, and then I read the book to the tutor out loud, right? And she corrects my pronunciation. Then she starts to ask me right there during our WhatsApp chat, voice chat, about what I'm reading in the book. And it forces me to kind of like process what's inside the book, or the little story. They're like one like personage, is that even a word? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm trying to say. One famous figure, like Jim Henson was the one I was reading about the day before yesterday, the creator of the Muppets. And so basically that's how I study. And for me, it's really helpful for my Chinese to study that way, because she will ask me questions, I have to respond. Sorry, did I say my Chinese? Spanish. I'm doing all this in Spanish because I'm actively learning Spanish right now. But she'll ask me questions, I have to respond. Written language is usually a little more complicated than spoken language, and they don't always line up. So I'll have to phrase things, ask for clarification. She'll say something to me, I won't quite understand, so I ask again. It's a very nice way to get dialogue going back and forth. And then, if we talk about something, if there's something interesting, we can talk about it. So if you have the opportunity to do this kind of study, it works really well, at least for my brain. And I hope it will work well for your brain. Whew. I don't see any more questions, so I think we should just finish up for now. Like, it's been a chill time. Again, I would be super happy to help you out and have you inside of the DIY Chinese challenge. You can join that for right now, before the prices go up, as low as $47 US. It's a 4-week challenge. What we do is I hook you up with an accountability partner, and this is the goal, for you to be able to be a lot more consistent and make a lot better progress in your whole Chinese self-study process. So what we do is you get accountability partner, you get me taking you step by step via emails, and then through how to clarify your goals. Like you've seen, I started to talk a little more about how to study Chinese. Having clear goals is everything. Being able to study consistently is everything. Like having somebody who can hold you accountable and test you on whether or not you've achieved your goal is everything. But like, I'll take you through that inside of the challenge so that you can make progress, because the really sucky thing is just, it sucks when like we have a goal, like you have a goal, and it's been like a year and you just can't achieve it. And you're just wondering, how do I achieve the goal? Or you're wondering, how the heck do I start Chinese? Or maybe you're overwhelmed because there's so many free resources online. Like, that's the problem. Like, thank God we have internet. Like, we couldn't do this right now. But if you Google how to learn Chinese, you got like 18 websites. And the perfect example of this whole issue is if I want to lose weight, I could do it myself. I don't have to pay to lose weight. We all know the basics, right? Run and burn off more calories than you eat, sure, right? So I Google how to lose weight, and then I see results. And this is the thing. One result says do the keto diet and just eat lots of fats and put your body into ketosis, right? Cool, I can do that. Another result says, it's from the vegan website, it says go vegan, just eat vegetables. Save the planet while you're at it, you know? Cool. Another result says do intermittent fasting. Don't eat before 10 a.m. and don't eat after 3 p.m. And the problem with this is all the people on those websites look super good and they're in super good shape. So who do I listen to? The keto person, their strategy is way different from the vegan person, right? I'm sure keto people and vegan people fight in real life, you know? Like, who would win? Tell me in the comments below. But then the person who does intermittent fasting might be eating keto, might be eating vegan. They might be just, I don't know, drinking water all day. But so who do you listen to? And that's the thing is I created the DIY Chinese challenge so you could listen to me. Not that I'm better than other people out there, but I can help you clarify. And with clarity and accountability can come progress. And I don't want you to be at your current level right now. 6 months from now, or even a month from now, if you join the DIY Chinese Challenge. I want you to be better, you know? Like, I am more fulfilled the more Chinese language I speak, the more any language I speak. And that's why I've lived overseas. I've lived in China, and I just get super happy when I speak Mandarin. And I hope that you can have that same success and happiness too. And I can get you there. Absolutely, 100% I can get you there. Why? Because I already took one group through the DIY Chinese Challenge. And you know what? Like, I was just blessed being able to sit, like we had our last session, it was just celebrating their achievements, how much they progressed. And it was cool seeing them excited about the progress they made and sharing with each other. And I'm like, wow, yeah, I created this thing, but they came into it, trusted me, went through the steps, kept each other accountable, and in 4 weeks, it was a cool thing. So the link is in the descriptions below. Registration will close Friday so that I can focus on the current members. If you want to lock in like the lower price, that ends tonight at midnight Mexico time, wherever you're at in the world, and I would be happy to see you in there. Like, I really would be happy to help you. But even if you don't join the DIY Chinese Challenge, start talking to me here in the comments on YouTube, and we could see what kind of videos we can make. It takes effort, but making small daily progress, we can do it. And Anderson, vegetables are best, says Franz. Franz, did you ever say where you are at in the world? Like, I'm still waiting for you to tell me where you at. But yeah, small daily progress, effort. I will be sharing more videos here about strategies for learning Chinese, because I think that's something that I can really speak to and help you out with. Let me see. Colombia, Camila in Colombia. Wow, otra hispanohablante. Colombia, nunca fui a Colombia. France, Mandarin X. Sorry, I'm looking to see if I missed a question. Nope, I didn't miss a question. And Franz, you did not say where you are from. Oh, China Plus podcast, Takeaway Chinese. Thanks, David, for that. I have never heard of that podcast either. Some people were telling me I should start a podcast. I'm scared. Actually, I'm just too busy. I'm just too busy. These videos take a long time to edit. I should just go live, but sometimes it's like this tension. If I go live more, then it's harder to like make the video really snappy and concise, you know, and sometimes I'll ramble and you're like, what the heck is this guy talking about? Because I know like all you guys are busy and I don't want to waste your time with super long videos. But yeah, editing a video, like the 5-minute videos that I put up, usually that takes me, I'm quick now, but still that takes me like 3 hours, maybe 4, maybe 5 if I include the filming it part. But you know, I try to make it entertaining for you. It's just, that was one of the things that I really thought a lot about when I first started this channel, is a lot of these language channels are just boring and tedious, you know? I'm like, spice it up a little bit, make it interesting. Because we can always scrub back and then watch it again, right? I'm looking for questions. Was I Bashi? Oh, Anderson. Well, Drew, was I Bashi? Brazil, right? I think you got to change that ba and the shi to make the Brazil Bashi, but I still got it. Or is it no? Basa. Is that like a different city or a different country? I don't know everything. I'm sorry if I got your country wrong, Anderson. Wow, there's some good friends. You shared the Xiangmi Chen Chen. Something roulette. I don't actually know all the characters, so I can't read those last three. Now you're probably like, seriously, what's up with this guy? Complete honest disclaimer. I only type characters on WeChat now. So as far as talking to my Chinese friends, that's easy, I can do that. But I don't know every character anymore. Historical Chinese drama. Oh, Camilla, you were the one that wrote that. Appears in Google. There's this one historical drama that I did like, though. It's a comedy. It's called Xiao Ao Jianghu. Xiao Ao Jianghu. Maybe, friends, can you type that into the chat? It's funny. It's, you know, kung fu people, of course, like many of the historical dramas are. 快乐汉语 TV show. Oh, 家有女儿. 家有女儿. That's an old one. But good. Still good. Set in Beijing, right, friends? Okay. Let's see if there's any other questions here. Back down to the... Oh, it is Brazil. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got it. You got it. It's Brazil. Almost right. I read it and I understood that you meant Brazil, Anderson. So all good. You will never hear me being hard on anybody, like, oh, you messed up. You know, we all mess up. If I spoke Spanish to you now, you would hear just all the mistakes I make. Zambia in the house. Alvin, what's up? Friend. Okay, German. Hey, there's this guy right downstairs from Germany. You know, one of my good friends, what was his name? I guess he wasn't that good of a friend. Why can't I remember him? I'm tired, but he was from Germany. And oh shoot, I gotta go live. Yeah, I gotta let you guys go pretty soon because I got to prepare my live and then go live inside of one of my paid groups. At any rate, I remember I met him. Why can't I remember his name? This is really gonna bug me. Anyway, I met him when I studied abroad in Beijing. Way back when. I'm not a spring chicken. That was in 2002 when I studied abroad in Beijing. And then I ended up moving back to China in 2009. And him and his wife stayed on my floor in Xiamen in 2009 when I first moved back to China. And we still are. Christoph. That's his name. I don't know. It's like Christoph Brusel? I can't say his last name. But anyway, it's been like almost 2 decades that we've known each other. So here's to international friends. Franz, what city are you from in Germany? Not that I only know 3, but maybe you're from one of the 3 I know? Cultivation, love, historical dramas you watch are action, fantasy. Maybe I gotta start watching some more historical dramas, Camila. Düsseldorf, is that Dusseldorf? Düsseldorf? Yeah, it must be Dusseldorf. Okay. I can't read Chinese, yes! Unless you tell me that's not the name of the city. Making videos surprising Chinese immigrants in... Okay, so the funny thing is, Anderson, is I was talking online with the creator of Oriental Pearl, and she was telling me I should do that too. And I struggled with this, actually. I'll be straight up. Oh, 9 people watching now. So if you're just watching, this is just a live stream where I'm answering your questions about Chinese. You ask questions, I will answer. I really struggled with putting the videos, like when I jumped into the Uber to get a picture with the driver in the driver's seat, or she let me take a picture there, and the one where like I was going around Beijing with Charmaine, a Filipina girl that I did a collab with. Like, I struggle making those kind of videos, honestly, because it's like, I guess I started this channel really to offer like the value of how to learn Chinese, but then I realized over time that entertainment is something that you care about too, or I guess people who watch the channel care about, because I see like those videos are being performed, the hola, being performed like they're performing the best. So when I get to China, or when this quarantine stops, so this is my other neighbor, she's going down there somewhere. She's a psychologist and she lives next door. When quarantine ends, I will find some Chinese restaurants and go and speak Mandarin with them. And if they're shocked and it's good enough, I'll put it on a video. Why not? Why not? Why not? I gotta go. I have to prepare for a live inside one of my paid groups. My gosh, I feel like I've been a broken record, but if you can come into the DIY Chinese challenge, there's a link below. If you go on the last video I uploaded, there's a link there. I would love to help you out. It's not a free challenge. By the way, I don't know if you knew, this is my business. I quit my day job in 2018 in June. I used to teach English in China, and I quit my day job to found officially elementary Chinese in China. And this is what I do full time. I get a lot of people on Instagram, random rant, but hey, since you're hanging out with me this long, I figure you care. But I get a lot of people on Instagram like, hey, could you do this for free, or could you teach me for free? It's like, I gotta eat, buddy. And besides, like, I'm a professional. Like, I would never go to the doctor and expect them to do their doctor thing for free. And if they did, I'm looking downstairs because the neighbors are coming back, and I think we're going to have a squirt gun fight for my daughter's birthday, actually, on Saturday. But I would never go to a doctor for free, and if they were free, I would wonder, what's going on with that? Been a while since you watched my video on textbook recommendations. Tennis Guy, before I go, I will answer if you're still here. Mr. Tennis Guy, new Practical Chinese Reader. Happy birthday to it. Not yet. Her birthday is, don't judge me. How come I had a brain fart the 23rd? The 23rd is her birthday. I don't like New Practical Chinese Reader. I mean, I'm enthusiastic. Okay, it's an okay book. I like other textbooks better. So like in all those reviews, which are kind of more like overviews, if I was in China, definitely I would get New Practical Chinese Reader over other books. I need to put on chapstick. Dang, my lips are chapped. Over other textbooks, but if I was outside of China and had access to Amazon.com, then I would definitely get Integrated Chinese as a textbook, which I know it's expensive, but it's the best. In fact, tell me in the comments if you think there's better than Integrated Chinese, and I will argue you down. Integrated Chinese is the best. Integrated Chinese, I can talk. But if that was out of my budget, then I would get the Living Language Mandarin series. It's yellow. I did review it, and it has beginner, intermediate, advanced all in one series, and it's like 29 at the time of right now. It's like $29 US before tax, and it's quite thorough. I actually went through the whole series called Living Language Spanish. It's like they do lots of languages. That's a very thorough one. But if I could get a textbook, Integrated Chinese would be it. Oh, I was just telling people in my DIY Chinese challenge, if you're studying on your own, Living Language Mandarin is absolutely for you. It was designed for self-studiers. If you want a textbook, Integrated Chinese is the best. It's all in color, super relevant to like at least last year. They're on their 4th edition now. But the thing with Integrated Chinese is that their answers in the book and the workbook are very protected, because this textbook series is used heavily in the USA. And so you can imagine if the answers were out there, then all these high school and college people taking tests could cheat. So if you want the answers, you practically can't get them for Integrated Chinese. You have to show like teacher credentials and register on their website or something like that to get the answers. So if you use Integrated Chinese, and keep in mind, I am continually learning too. So if you watch like my review of Integrated Chinese, I didn't talk about that because I didn't know this, because that review was like 3 years ago. But if you use Integrated Chinese, great, but make sure you have a tutor who's helping you through the book so that they can look at the questions and give you the answers and help you work through the exercises. HSK books. Yeah, I haven't seen many HSK books that have great explanations. I mean, you know my strategy for studying for the HSK. It's here on YouTube. It's just being really thorough, basically. Going through every an HSK practice test, then coming back around, grading it, and only focusing on the questions that you got wrong, learning every word inside of a HSK question that you got wrong, flashcarding those words, and then reviewing, and probably doing this through the pace of, like, say, one HSK test every 2 weeks if you're working, if you can manage it every 1 week, and eventually you will know all the HSK vocabulary. Because the cool thing about the HSK test is that the vocabulary is fixed for every level. So if you go through, say, like 4 HSK practice tests, flashcarding the words from the questions that you got wrong, then by the time you get to like your 5th HSK test for a specific level, you should be doing pretty good if that took you 5 weeks or 10 weeks to review for that test. Franz, I do appreciate that you are writing the things down, that way people can see them. Guys, I really do want to go. I want to say, I can't see who's here, but Franz, obviously, and Tennis Guy, I think you just joined. Anderson, you've been here for quite a while. Lena, you know what? I just want to say thanks for hanging out with me. Like, seriously, thank you for hanging out with me. It's been cool. I'll leave this video up for a bit before I take it down, and I'm gonna go and write some more emails for the newer members that are coming into the DIY Chinese Challenge right now to finish my tasks for the day. And then I think I have one video, there is one video sitting on my computer, and if I can edit it, then I will publish it tomorrow. It is an interview with a guy named Vince, who works at Career China. I know him because I know the Career China team in Beijing, which is next to Tianjin, like 30-minute fast train or 3 hours door to door from my house to the taxi cab, to the fast train, to the subway in Beijing, to where they are at any rate. I interviewed this guy, he's pretty cool. He shares some tips about listening to music, which is a cool and fun way to learn Chinese. We just did not talk about that today. And man, I've been rambling a long time. Thanks for watching, all right. Kuizhou, elementary Chinese, good study, day up. And that awkward moment where I reached to turn off the live stream and you can see it and I can't just chop the video and finish right away. Goodbye.